Hey guys, what's going on? And Spitfire, you were not first. Budget guy was first. So I don't have a lot to talk about tonight. So we're going to kind of just talk about I've been doing a lot of sharpening. I didn't even film anything today. So but I did set something up. Watch this. I got some lighting. Does that help? There's one for in the front, but I don't want to look directly into it. So I got some lights set up, stuff like that, so that hopefully I can make the actual videos look better and have better lighting and things like that. And of course, the dog's gonna start barking. So Spitfire's like 12. Spitfire's like 12. He's like a 12-year-old kid. I do want to talk about the fact, guys, I have ramped up the sharpening. I think I've been trying to drop little hints. If you've been following me on Instagram, you've been seeing there's a lot of stuff that came in, a lot of stuff that got sharpened. I did some serious repairs today on a Spyderco Para 2 in CPM 10V. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff done. I'll show you some pictures here. I'll share some pictures. Let's share screen window. Let's see here. We'll start with the first one so you guys can see how bad this was. Nope, that's the finished. God damn it. Oh, wait. Yeah, so you guys can see. Let me make that full screen. Can you guys see that big chip that was on that? So that big chip that was there, I had to fix for a customer. So let's stop that screen and I'll show you the other thing that was on it, which was the chipped tip. So I had to fix the tip as well, which was pretty bad. So it took I'm not gonna lie, it took a while. It took me about 30, 40 minutes maybe to get the chip out and the tip repaired, just to get those two rectified and then to actually start sharpening. So about another maybe 15, 20 minutes of sharpening. So it probably took me about an hour for that one. But this is what it wound up looking like when I got done. So if you guys are needing anything fixed, that's not what I want to do. So you can see here, there you go. That's what it looked like after that. And then I have to find the one with the tip repair. And we'll share that one as well. So you guys can see it, just so you can see it. Stop that screen. Share screen. I did not use a 50 grit. Here's what it looked like after the tip repair. There's the repaired tip of that knife. Oh, I did it again. I closed it, didn't I? At any rate, just need some ceramic coating. I'm not doing ceramic coating. I haven't done ceramic coating in a while. Oh, look at that. I made a shatter. But yeah, it was a lot of work, and that wasn't the only one. He had a booze knife that came in that was really badly done. So if you want to see some of those, I've been putting stuff up on my Instagram. A guy sent me a Osprey that he had me take the edge back on it and take it all the way to 8,000 grit. I just got a new. It is Murky. John Cena. Change it back, Murky. I don't like it. It is funny, but I imagine YouTube's good. Yeah, but YouTube's gonna have a fit. They will. That whole anything against the fucking China. You can't. I would prefer if you changed it back, but it's okay for right now. But at any rate, no. So I did one for him to 8,000 grit, and then I took mine to 5,000 grit. Can I get Murky's address so I could change it myself? But yeah, it was done, and I posted up some stuff. I sharpened a lot of stuff this weekend. So, or this week. Yeah, this weekend. Today's Martin Luther King Day. I worked all weekend. I didn't take any time off. I filmed on Sunday. I sharpened razors on Saturday. I filmed yesterday. I sharpened knives today. My hands hurt. I'm not gonna lie. Those the edged knife repairs take forever, and then they make my hands hurt. So let's see here. But yeah, I've like I said, I've been stepping back up the sharpening service because the arm feels. I mean, it's never going to be any better than it is right now. And the doctor confirmed it, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. It doesn't make it any worse. Shapton glass 320 any good for reprofiling? If you're gonna do reprofiling, I recommend something around 100 grit. 300 grit is just, I don't think 300 grit is aggressive enough. Now, if you're using a straight razor, if you're reprofiling a straight razor because somebody decided to put tape on the spine and shit like that, then yeah, you could get away with a 600 grit. But I don't like that. That's as coarse as I would go with straight razors, 600 grit. I think 320 is just too. I don't think it's aggressive enough. I really don't think it's aggressive enough to reprofile. Like I said, I prefer about 100 grit, about 80 to 100 grit for reprofiling. Yes, Murky, that's better. That's better. So, guys, I got a bunch of subscribers from you know what? I've got these, and now I'm not going to use them. It's too bright. I'm just looking at two LEDs. They're just a flat plate of LEDs. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 63 individual LEDs on each one. It's got a diffuser on it. It's really, really bright. What color are they? They're white. They came with wireless remotes. There's one for each. So each one has its own. I can turn it down. Let's see here. Yeah, you can turn them down. Like, that's better. But they came with a bunch of filters. There's blue. There's I think there's a diffuser on them right now. What does it come with? So there's a blue, a yellow, and a red. You can't see. Oh, that is weird. The yellow one disappears, and if I put the yellow one, that is so weird. Look at that. You can see the blue one. Can't see the yellow one. The yellow one makes the blue one disappear. So, hey, Paulie. I didn't think you were showing up, Paul. But no, when I was talking about the sharpening, so I've been ramping up the sharpening service. If you guys need sharpening, I have started. Oh, hey, I got a super chat. Didn't even realize it. Let me see here. Where'd the cat go? The cat was just here. The cat was just here, and I don't. Oh, there he is. Come here. Hey, kitty. I don't know where he went. He went around the corner. So, Aiden 8K hype. I think that. Let me see. Does that even affect? I think it kind of does. That's actually just about perfect. It's not too bright. It could go up just a little bit. Turn that one up just a little bit. There we go. I think that's about right. See, there you go, Polly. People love your Instagram videos. I'm trying to get Paul to do a live feed on his channel, like have him cook some stuff. And I'll just be on there. So, and hang out and he could, hey, come here. Come here. Aiden hasn't got to see you in a while. Come here. No, Cayenne, not you. I was talking to the cat. Come here. Come here. Oh. Hi, big fella. Oh, boy, you're heavy. You are a heavy guy. Yeah, say hi. Say hi to everybody. Yeah, I know you're there too, cat or dog. The dog really gets upset when the cat doesn't come back. So there's been a couple days where the cat just didn't come home, and the cat didn't come in, and she just sat on the couch. Oh, that's not what I was trying to do, Aiden. But ding, 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 ding. Shop cat. Shop cat. Shop cat. Shake. Hi, bud. I like this cat. It's a cow. It's not a cow. It is not a cow. What's going on, Gunther? Gunther Grunge. Hi. He got a fight. He's got a big old scratch on his nose. What's going on with this female filter? Hi. I just like this cat. I got your back foot. Oh, you don't like that. Hey. All right. I got to playing with his feet too much. I made barbecue honey chicken wings. Yeah, I saw the homemade ranch. I was still sharpening knives when Polly sent that to me. It looked good. He was still cooking them. They were still sizzling in the oven. Polly used the female filter and watch the views come in. God, Polly be an ugly chick. Paul would be an ugly chick. Let's see. Yeah, basically I spent the day sharpening. Here, check it out. I'll show you the final product. You saw the chips and everything that was on that knife. So, and then I got done cleaning it up, and these are for Ben Marshall, the newest paying member. Why do I like knives? Because they're a tool that can be carried and they can be artful. Not only can they be art, but they're functional. And there's just something primal about knives. They're just something that they're like the oldest tool we had. The only tool that's actually older is a hammer, because you have to have a hammer to make a knife. So you would be beautiful. I don't think you would. I think that between that massive forehead and that fucking mountain range of a nose you got going, pretty sure knives are shiny and pokey. I mean, I don't know. There's just always been something. I've always been into knives of all different kinds, different shapes, because humans don't have claws. Very good answer, because humans don't have claws. But there's just so many different things you can get out of a knife. And there's different purposes, different types of knives that have different, overall uses and things like that. So it's fun. Plus, there's a lot of history that goes along with that. I don't think Paul would be a very good looking chick. I mean, apparently these days you can be 6'2" with a beard and and still be a woman, but I don't think Polly would fall into that group. Oh, are you jealous? And now you came over? Hey, I got the dog over here with me too. So I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about? Like, this is gonna be real short if you guys don't have stuff you want to talk about. You know how Elon has been looking for a new method of propulsion? Why not use pulse sneezing? I was always in a knives, but never thought I'd gladly drop a stack on one. You know, I came out of the military and I dropped a bunch of money on some really expensive knives after I retired. But then again, I was making a lot of money. I'm going to tell you what. I'll tell you what came from Winston Cabretti. It's over here. Where'd it go? It's right over here. Winston Cabretti sent this. Winston Cabretti sent this. I'm not going to tell you the story about the fucking hook again, Paul. Winston Cabretti sent this. I did the unboxing. I was going to do a video about it, but typical of some of those weird, like Italian-made knives, the edge on it was really, really blunt. So I had to sharpen it. So I knew how it was going to sharpen because I know the steel. It's N690 CO, so it's N690 with cobalt. And so once again, the hook was a gift from my father. They were called Good Luck hooks. You put them on your hat. We were always part of we were always part of like fishing tournaments, and we always loved to go fishing. And it was pretty good. It was a pretty good gift because it was just one of those goofy things. You could use them as a money clip if you wanted, and you just put them on the bill of your hat. At any rate, why can't I sleep? It's genetic. My dad always had this too. He would, like, my dad, I don't ever remember seeing him sleep much more than about maybe 3 hours a night. I get maybe 4 a night if I'm lucky. And that's good. If I sleep more than like 5 or 6, if I sleep more than 5 or 6 hours, I just feel like crap. But then there's something else that happens, and I'm in the middle of it right now. Sometimes is gout genetic? No, it's just because you eat garbage food, Polly. It's what is it? Uric acid crystals or something like that. Urea crystals or something that forms in your joints. That's what it's from. And it's from foods like really rich, heavy foods and like shit like broccoli and stuff like that. At any rate, but my dad never slept that much, but he would do this too. Like there's a handful of times a year that I'll have days like 4 days in a row where I just can't sleep at all. And like we're on day 3 and it's really getting annoying. And I'm hoping, like, if I start feeling sleepy, I'm going to end this because like I haven't slept in like like tonight would be the 3rd or 4th night that I haven't really slept. I think I got maybe an hour's sleep last night. At any rate, so I laid an edge back on this. I laid the edge back on this and it's really, really sharp. So you're going to see a video about this here before too long. I've been playing with it. I'm not going to do a first day because with a little fixed blade like this, it's a little bit more difficult to carry and do some of the stuff because, well, I don't have soft loops for it. I'm not going to wear it as a neck knife. I'm going to do some stuff around the house with it. I got a bunch of cardboard from these lights and stuff that I got to cut up. So, we're going to probably use this to cut it down. I was afraid that I wasn't going to like this knife. Now that I've got it and used it a little bit to sharpen it and held it a little bit, carried it, it's not too bad. But it was really, really, I don't know. The edge was really blunt. And so you can see I laid the edge back on that, took it to about 3,000 grit. N690 CO takes a really, really acute edge. I think it would be the Gorilla. I already did the video about the Gorilla. This isn't the Gorilla. So whoever gave me that Gorilla that Holtzman Gorilla neck knife, let me know. I can't remember who sent it to me. I already shot the video and it went up. But well, what you drive a school bus or something? I don't like the minimalist. I don't like. We doing this thing or what? I don't know. I was going to invite Havoc on, and I've told him several times that he needs to send me his email. He needs to send me an email. Oh, you're a trucker. Cross tops, bro. Cross tops. My grandfather was a long haul truck driver. He lived on crosstops. Yeah, I forgot. Well, it's not happening. Hey, Cole, Wednesday, Cole, if you're still here, let's try and go live. It's KOLE, by the way, Paul. Let's try and do a live on Wednesday. How's that sound? If you're still here, I don't know. COAL, it's Cole. Compound grinds better steel, longer blade, katana minimalist, even smarts my interest. I don't think so. Okay, cool. Well, I'll send you a thing. Friday, guys. Friday, I have Pete from Cedric and Ada on. If you didn't see the post, Pete from Cedric and Ada is going on. And Cole, I got some of my knives that I can send you if you want to see some of the stuff that you've never got to see. Like I have limited edition runs like Ferrum Forge stuff that like you can't ever get. So we could talk about that. I can ship you off a couple of my knives if you want, stuff that you've not gotten a chance to see, like the OGs, Ferrum Forge Archbishop, stuff like that. So kind of a Stockholm syndrome kind of thing going on. Well, I mean, wouldn't surprise me. Apparently you live with your mother. Cankle. Coles. So I'm not going to, because then I'd have to go find his email address and all that shit. I'm not doing it right now. I wanted to have the email address ahead of time so that I could send out the invite like I always do. Like I know you're, oh, you just got an atrocious spider coat. I saw it. And I heard that you're doing a wall hanger of that with the dude, the Arab dude riding it like a fucking rocket. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was afraid I wasn't gonna like this at first, and I really have kind of changed my mind. It just felt strange at first because the handle's short, but once you get your thumb way up on it, you can really cut a lot with this. So sure. Oh, well, I'll fix that after. We can. Okay, so when I was in the Navy, we had a computer on my last ship. The last ship I was on, we had a computer that I used all the time, and it was the Combat Systems office, and I was the LPO for Combat Systems Department, and so I had this computer. It was pretty much was mine, but people would use it. And I'd type stuff in it and the guys were like, they'd be like sitting down or like, they're like, all right, whatever you do, don't type whatever it is you're going to use as a final product, email it to yourself so you can spell check it. And I'm like, why can't I spell check it here? He's like, because that's Guns' computer. And he has a tendency to not be able to spell something. And he spells it so bad, the little paperclip dude goes, I don't fucking know. And he'll just hit add the dictionary and then look it up later. And he's like, if you try to spell check anything, I think the computer gave up. It doesn't even spell check anything anymore. And I was like, it's like, he's got the hillbilly dictionary in it right now. Like he can't spell shit. He's got dyslexia and he's from Southeast Ohio. So no, it was why I can't spell. Paulie, hey, check this out. Watch this. Hey, Paul, you know what? Hey, Paul, you're in timeout. Go stand in the corner. Let's see how long it takes before he blows my phone up. I did that specifically because like Paul has a foul mouth and it makes me funny. It makes me laugh. Paul's enjoying that timeout. He's like, I was like, Paul's enjoying that timeout. Go fuck yourselves. Paul, I know you're still watching. I'm going to send you a link in a minute. You can come back on. Just don't be too fucking crazy. Not back on. You guys want me to invite Polly on? It's always fun when I have Polly on. But like I say, I blocked him for 5 minutes. 100% just because I knew that it would make me giggle. That has nothing to do with anything Polly said. I just put him in timeout because it's funny. The dog is snoring. So why do I have so many deleted messages? I'm new to this. I don't know. I don't know why there's a lot of deleted messages. I haven't deleted your messages. Oh, well, okay. So there are some things that YouTube doesn't want people saying. And so since I'm responsible for the chat, there's a lot of things, John, that there's a lot of things that are just preset. Like if you try to say certain things, if you try to type certain things, it's already just set. Because I don't know if you guys know this, like obviously you've never been on here before. YouTube holds the channel owners responsible. I actually had my channel taken down for a while. I lost the ability to post. I lost the ability to do live feeds for a while because I had done something that YouTube didn't like, and I got a strike. And so to avoid that, I went through and all the no words. When I first started doing YouTube videos, I think there was like 5 or 10 words you weren't allowed to say or have in your chat and things like that. And now there's a ton of them. And so I just go through, and when there's stuff that I know will violate what YouTube wants, I don't think they're watching my channel that closely. Oh, it's because I put him in timeout because it's just funny. But a lot of times that stuff that like profanity. I don't want too much profanity for a reason. My daughter, and by default, her friends watch my live feeds. And so I know she's watching and I'm just saying hi. I don't want a lot of that in there where her friends are going to be like, where her friends' parents are going to be like, this is what your dad does. So there's that. And then the other reason is it starts to get nasty, and then people get upset and there's fights and stuff. I had fights in comment section. I took an entire video down because of it, because it was just too hard to moderate. So, yeah, Purple Heart Barbecue. Can you send me a list of all the words? No, it's a big, long one. It's listed. It's like 2,500. Like you can't say, you have to say pew pew and things like that. Like you can't show a pew pew. I had a live feed, even though I followed all the rules. Like YouTube has firearms rules of what you can and can't do in videos, and I followed all of them. I was an instructor. Ran a range at one point. I had all the proper safety precautions, and they still took down my live feed because I was talking about a light for a pew pew. So, so I just like to keep this a place where we just talk about fun stuff. I mean, I don't get it wrong. I curse in my videos, but like it gets excessive sometimes, and it gets nasty, and then people get to fighting. I just don't want it. I get enough. Like I said the other day, if I wanted drama, I'd watch Days of Our Lives. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. I love this knife so much. I showed a pew pew in Matt's lot. Matt who? I think you can get away. Like I've had mine on like in a holster and walked through a live feed and things like that, but I was handling it, manipulating it, showing it and stuff, stuff like that. So what was this? That is why everyone says pew pew or blaster. I'm still, Matisfaction. I think you can get away. I think you can get away with it in passing, but as long as you're not manipulating it, handling it. Like I was doing a video where I was talking about the light. It was an Olight green laser. Now I've done videos about firearms, and they didn't really do too much about it. It definitely was limited ads. It got the yellow check mark of we're still going to run ads, but because you put a pew pew in it, we're going to keep most of the money and you're just not going to see it. That's what that means. What knife is this? This is the Oaks Osprey EDX. This is his mid-tech, more budget version. And yes, I actually have sharpened it down. I do know that profile's changed. I used it so much that I had to sharpen it a few times. I did a bunch of heavy task stuff. I cut up a bunch of cardboard. I cut up some thin wood. I was using it to trim rose bushes and stuff like that and cut off rose. And I actually had to sharpen it. You could see I did kind of change the profile of the knife a little bit, but now I don't think it's going to really change that much because it's down in the hollow. And I thinned the edge out on this one a little bit, but it's really a good. So wait, you manipulated a lot of. You didn't get it taken down. There was a lot of people that were on that live feed. Mine got taken down. Mine got squashed. It got taken down. Yeah, I don't know why. All I was doing was talking about an accessory. It was the red. I can't remember if it was the red laser that I got from Olight on that pew pew, or if it was the just the green light, the Valkyrie. I think it was just the Valkyrie light. So I'm not gonna lie, I haven't gotten to see anybody's live feeds in a while. Oh, so at any rate, this knife did not have a tip, and it had a great big chip in it, and I took it all the way up to 2,000 or 3,000 on this, and this was on diamonds, and it is nasty. That 110V, or CPM 10V, it takes an aggressive edge. So, yeah, that's what it was. It was the flashlight. It was just the rail mount light. So I might be giving that away. I have not decided yet because I have two others. Olight has sent me a couple of them, and I have an Olight that's going to be a giveaway before too long. Guys, don't forget there is a giveaway for the paying members. If you want to get in on it, you got to be a paying member, baseline or premium tier. I'm giving away that. We'll pull it up here. The Cazador, the artisan. Cazador. I'll pull up an image here. So how do you pick out a knife when buying it? The shiny blade like that. What description is it? Okay, so this knife has what they call a satin. That's called a satin finish. That's a grinder satin. So it's a two-tone. So this has a grinder satin on it. So typically satin two-tone would be what you're looking for, if that's what you're looking for. So let's share this. Share screen. Chrome tab. This is what I'm giving away this month, this specific knife. That's the knife I'm giving away. Yeah, so this is a satin. That knife right there is in a satin. So that knife is actually a really nice knife. I do like that one. And there's a chance, I have not decided. We'll see how it plays out. As much as I like this, this is another nice satin. This is that Sirius, that Ray Laconico designed Sirius by Artisan. I may, because I just don't have room for, as much as I like it, this might wind up being a giveaway. But I talked to Russell, and he said he might get me one to do as a giveaway for you guys. I like this a lot. This is that S35VN micarta Ray Laconico Sirius top flipper and thumb stud operator. This is a really nice knife, but I don't think I carry it as much as I to keep it. You know what I mean? So there might be some stuff that I either sell or give away. And I forgot to prioritize this device on my Wi-Fi. Give me a moment. Smart home. So, and once again, guys, I don't know if you guys heard me say it. The sharpening service, I locked my price in $25 to any grit. So the only exception to that $25 is to case in point, things like the Norseman, Tontos, recurve Tontos, those have a different price structure. But if you're sending me something like this, and it's not wrecked, if I don't have to do any repairs, then it's $25 plus shipping and handling. What is this? Beautiful. I know what to buy now. I've only been buying for a couple of weeks. What is going on here? What's that fucking cat doing back there? Hey, what are you doing back there? I'm running into storage problems for my knives. Don't know if I want rolls or cases. I have limited space in the trunk. Rolls take up less space. Cases protect your knives better. I mean, it's just a matter of like what you want. Rolls, like I have a knife case and it holds, what we got there, 8 times 4. So 32 knives in that case. I mean, I could probably squeeze a couple more in it, but rolls, you can put a ton of knives in a roll and then they don't take up near as much space. So let's see here. Wow, why is everything so jacked up? So I gotta pause some devices. But yeah, the rolls, like if you're traveling, take a case, keep a case to put them in to go on the road or something. Like if I go to a knife show, a lot of times I'll take a couple of my knives because people will want to see them. But if you're just at home, put them on a roll and put them on the shelf. Stacy's here. So I forgot to pause some devices. And I don't know why. Now it's telling me I don't have signal out here in the garage. So, and there's 3 unknown devices and I can't figure out what they are. Pause this. So, find it hard to roll. It's hard to find a roll where the knives don't rub on each other. What? No, you got to get one of the ones where they go in their individual pockets and are nice and deep, and then you roll them up. I've never seen where they rub together. Now, if you put more than one in each pouch, yeah, you can definitely get them to rub. But I've never seen it. I've never seen a roll where they rub. Now, if they stick out, yeah, I could see that. Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's 70 degrees in my garage. It went from being in the 30s to being in the 60s and 70s at night. Got it. Uh-oh. Dogs are getting ready to start going crazy. I don't know what's making that noise because the dog and cat are both here. Oh, it's raining. That's what I'm hearing. So here's the thing. I used to not mind the cold. It didn't bother me. I grew up in the Midwest and we'd have those rough winters. We'd have cold winters. Now that I've been out here and I spent a lot of time in the Middle East and tropical areas of Japan where it's just hot year round, I much rather be hot than cold. Like I can take the heat. I just don't like the cold. Brandon G, who's OEM on those aux? Is it yes, it's Reat. Reat's doing the OEM on them. So I don't know how much of the actual work. They've got it. Now, I've looked a couple places, and I need to ask Eric. I talked to I'm friends with Eric. I got his phone number and everything. I call him. He gave this to me as a gift. I need to ask him because I don't know if this is truly a mid-tech where they're doing the OEM and then he's doing the assembly. That's typically what winds up happening. He gets the parts and then he does the final assembly. Or if this is just a production version of this knife and it's just always going to be done completely, just done completely production style. I will tell you that the job that they did on this is incredible. Just a great job. The assembly and everything. It does get dirty pretty easy though. I don't know if it's the way I've been using it or what, but I had to take it apart again today and clean it. But like I said, if you're needing to if you're getting ready to cut down like a jug or something, you need to punch a hole in it, cut your way around it. It's just about perfect for that with that swedge on the back. So, all right, budget. I was playing Call of Duty right up until I almost missed. I was like, oh crap, it's time for me to start the live feed. So I don't know what these other unknown devices are. I think that one, we'll pause it and then see if it turns off my ability to log in. Yeah, it's raining hard, actually. I kept hearing something. It's the water running off the side of the house. Brandon G, is this the first time you've been on here? Now I do have a lot of new subscribers, guys. As a matter of fact, can show you guys that. Now I contacted YouTube about this. Let me pull this up. I contacted YouTube about this because that's not what I wanted. Sorry. I contacted YouTube because this is the second time it's happened and it's really weird. So let me pull up my analytics here because I can't show you guys all of my analytics, but I can show you my live subscriber count. Now I'm going to pull this up and you'll see why it's weird because Jared and I talked about it and I know it happens, but this is so incredibly weird that it looks like this. So remember Jared talked about the bots. So you can see here, we had a huge spike in subscribers a couple weeks back. And then they just all dropped back off. And I really kind of stayed where I was to begin with. And then Jared announced it again. And we see this jump, but now it's done this again. And I don't think it's going to drop. I think this is just a little bit because it was down below this and now it's went back up. So I don't know, but I'm like, why? I'm like, why is that? Why is it doing that? So I contacted YouTube. I'm like, yeah, this is weird. You need to take a look at why it's doing this because it's discouraging to creators to get that jump and then down. I don't know, Stacy. You may still be one of two. My buddy's wife subscribes. A couple of my buddy's wives subscribe to the channel. So you subbed with Mr. Amazing. Been watching some videos first live. Sometimes I have guests. Sometimes Polly's on. Polly apparently is boycotting me. Let me send him a link. Hang on a second. Let me send Polly a link and see if he'll come on. And then we'll see what this happens. Yeah, it's raining. It's raining pretty good. That's not what I wanted to do. Hang on. We get this set up here. Samurai Warrior, welcome. There we go. Let's to Paul. I know he was going to go somewhere tonight, but I think he's trying to catch up. I'll send it to him. If he doesn't want to come on, then so be it. but it's fun to have Polly on. It makes it interesting. So Wednesday looks like we're gonna have Cole from Tri-State on, and then Friday I got Pete from Cedric and Ada that's gonna join me in a live feed. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I love Pete's sense of humor, and like I've never been one of those guys that like, oh wow, that's like I really, really am interested in watching someone else's content, almost like being to the point of being like fanboy, like, oh wow, hey, it's Pete, and talking to him in another live feed. I was like, oh holy shit, I get to talk to Pete. It was kind of fun because his channel is one of those ones that I'm a big fan of, and it was kind of fun. So now we're gonna have him on, and I've been talking to him on Instagram a lot, and we have a lot of common interests, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. Well, thank you, Brandon G. And you too, Ed Harrison. I'm just gonna call you Ed Harris because he's one of my favorite actors. It just makes it seem like I'm talking to Ed Harris. I subbed when you were sharpening your backyard under cover during a rainstorm. I remember that video. Was that a live? Was I doing a live sharpening and a rainstorm underneath my canopy? Or are you talking about the one where the rainstorm picked my canopy up and blew it out into the yard, broke the 550 cord it was tied to? That was the day that I lost that canopy and then didn't get a new one because we were moving, and left that workbench outside to almost get destroyed. That was the day that we had tornadoes in San Diego. And my buddy was on his way home because they closed down his work. He worked as a crane operator, and he was on the base. He's like, hey man, they sent us all home. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, they sent us home with pay because the weather's so bad. They didn't know what's driving in it. And he's like, I was coming home and I'm driving down the road to my house. And he goes, there's a roof in the road. And I was like, oh, you mean like a bunch of like all the shit blew off? And he goes, no, motherfucker, like the top of a house came off and it is laying in the road. And I was like, oh, wow. Almost destroyed all of Mike's stones. You guys remember when I got my stones stolen? Remember that? Where's Mike? When did Mike get here? Hey, you like that? You like that? We could, that's the beauty of this is we can do this in any room I choose. We can even do it at Disney. And I have some of the ones I made, like this was the New Year's Eve live feed with Broccoli Skull. I like this one, but it's kind of washed out. And you got this one. We're out on a farm. Some of these. This is how I feel right now. My wife's gone. I'm all lonely on the beach. These are fun. I like the green screen. The green screen has definitely made it more appealing. Because to tell you the truth, this garage is not that attractive of a place to do like live feeds because there's laundry and stuff hanging up. And now that I have got taking down and putting up the green screen, I've got it down to where it's not real difficult. Well, thank you. Like I take it down every day. Like when we're done, I'm going to take it down because like I know that I'm not going to sleep. And so until I feel sleepy, I'll probably be out here watching TV till like last night. I was out here till, I want to say I was out here till like 3 or 4, and I was sharpening knives that I had in and finished up this morning. I went to bed. I think I slept for like an hour. I was back up at 6 sharpening to get some of these ones done. I wanted to get all this stuff off the shelf. Aiden's knife still has to get done. It's up there, and that's going to be a feat, Aiden. I'm telling you right now. You like any of these room scenes? I like this. I think this looks pretty cool, and it's not intrusive, and it looks like I'm shooting a live feed somewhere much nicer than I am. When do the girls return? They get back on the 20. Well, we don't know. Tentatively, they come back on the 29th, but my wife and I were talking. Was it yesterday or this morning? I can't remember. Yesterday, my wife's flight got canceled. So I don't know what we're going to do. They're like, oh, well, I heard him talking because I was on the phone because the Japanese travel agency, the office that she ordered it through, all the stuff, the record is here in San Diego. So I had to call them so that they could talk in Japanese. So I was on my business phone talking to them, and my wife was on my personal phone FaceTiming so that they could talk. And I heard him say, "Oh, well, we have a flight to San Francisco." And I was like, San Francisco is a goddamn 10-hour fucking drive one way. It's not 10. I think it's like 8. Yeah, no, it's about 10, 8 to 10 hour drive one way. I'm like, do you want me to drive 8 to 10 hours to turn around and drive 8 to 10 hours back? No. So, well, not to try and upsell you, Blame Dexter, but I have a tutorial series that if you're one of my paying members for the YouTube memberships, it's locked in. So the premium tier guys have access to it. I was going to shoot one about straight razors and, this weekend, but the amount of work I had to do on those straight razors didn't make sense. So what I might do is grab one of my straight razors that obviously I'm not using, but they still need cleanup, and then just do a quick walkthrough sharpening of one of my really nice straight razors, just to show you guys how to sharpen a straight razor and using the stones and stuff like that. But that would be part of the tutorial series. And for those of you guys that are paying members, and I'm going to try and get that premium tutorial series set up as a playlist. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just don't know how to use the playlists well, because I do know that it's challenging because YouTube doesn't do a very good job of providing you the list of stuff. If you go to my actual channel and click on the membership tab, if you're already a member, it will show you all the videos that you have access to as a paying member, but they're not in a specific order. So if I do just the sharpening tutorials as a playlist, then you guys would have access to them. Have a Chris Reeves that is now a recurve, so make sure to practice on something cheap. Yes, that's true. I can fix that for you too, by the way, Mike. No. Stop referring to me in the same manner that Poor Decision Mike does. Guys, I don't know when those shirts are ever going to make it to the website. I have not asked him lately. You guys wanted the PDM shirts. That's what I was going to tell you guys. Guys, if you buy some of my merch, if you send me pictures of you wearing like the Crazy Sharp shirts, I'll put them in videos. Like all you have to do is just send them to me. Ethan ruins EDC. Well, yeah. Practice knife is a mini sheepdog. I would even go that. I would get, as much as I like them, a lot of the artisan cutlery, some of their cheap, their lower end, like they're still good knives. Like the Rhea, I think is like $45. The sheepdog's a little bit more expensive than that. Like you could practice on a Rhea pretty easily. So I'm going to tell you something. I have noticed, like even companies that historically did not have this problem are starting to come with like Spyderco Benchmade. Like I just know, like you just like the guy will say, "Hey Mike, I just bought a new Spyderco," and I'm like, "Yeah, you need me to fix the edge, don't you?" He goes, "Oh yeah, it's all out of whack," and I'm like, "All right." It's just some companies that are going to have edge alignment issues, like misgrinds on the edge. But then there's some companies that you just don't ever expect it from, like We Knife Company. And I've seen here just recently, I've seen 2 or 3 We knives that have got some inconsistent edges at the very tip, like where it's canted over and it's asymmetrical. It's typically not a huge deal, but the problem is an asymmetrical edge won't stay sharp as long. What the hell was that? An asymmetrical edge will not stay sharp as long because there's inconsistent drag. So you're trying to push the blade straight, but the edge is like this and it peels the edge off a little bit more. And you can get away with it for a little bit, but I typically like to, at the first sharpening, at least, if not completely reprofile, set the edge at the apex a little bit. So one side might be a little wider than the other, you know, instead of completely finishing it. Was this? I practiced on an old Kershaw in a dresser. I voted for Kenkel. Yes, yes, yes. I know. I'll fix it. Hang on. I'll do it right now. Guys, let me fix it right now. Let me see if I can fix it. Let me see here. Edit. Oh, wait. It's not typing. I don't know. There we go. Yeah, it worked. Save changes. Oh, I can't. It won't let me. I'll have to change it after. I'll have to change it after. Bob BM or MBT. Bomb to. Do I know? They said there's going to be one. I may be going. I was talking with Cue Ball about this. I might be riding with him and a couple other guys from here to Atlanta. So not sure yet. Man, the temperature dropped a good bit. It's going on your permanent record, sir. God, I haven't heard anybody talk about your permanent. You know what? Remember when we were in school and we're like, you want to be careful, it'll wind up on your permanent record. And I'm like, permanent for what? Who fucking cares? I graduated high school. I'm done. Who cares? My permanent record. I didn't care about my permanent record. That's a drive. Yeah, that's typically like either you fly or drive. That's when you get in a car, Breeze, and you take off. That is absolutely a drive. Good for you. Look at you making full sentences. I'm kidding. You fuck with me enough. You kind of had that one coming. Look, you have well, that wouldn't even qualify as a full sentence, actually. Yeah, it kind of is. So, what are you doing, cat? So there's the cat. The cat was laying right next to the dog, right? And so the dog was fine, and the cat was just fine with it. They were snuggled up, and the cat was like right up against the dog, and she was 100% fine with it until the dog fucking moved. So the dog sat up, and the cat looked at her, and then when I was like, the dog was like, "Oh shit!" Like he wants me to lay back down. The dog tried to lay down, and the cat swatted her. I was like, "What the fuck?" You am smart. Oh, bless his heart. Blade show in Atlanta, might be considering it. Todd Carr, how's it going? Guys, I still have to get a hold of James Straub. He won the giveaway of that fixed blade. And I still have to send Metal Man Sean off his knife as well. All cats can. This cat, I don't know. He wants to snuggle and everything. But he's really independent. Like he'll go to the door. He's like, all right, it's time. Let me out. Hi, baby. Hi, puppy. I got to give this dog a bath. You let Canadian folks in here? I mean, while they're still allowed to have internet before their government decides that they're not going to visit. You can't watch that. You can't watch this. You can't watch that. Before they do that, I'll let them in, because they should be allowed. They should be allowed to have a little bit of fun. It's an earthquake. This just looks cool with the the live feed. I mean, in all honesty, most people can do podcasts and live feeds from inside a nice setting like this. Braxton, thanks for. Who's the new chick in the corner? What are you talking about? I don't see a chick in the corner. Thanks for viewing my snow story on Instagram. I don't know what you're referring to, but you're welcome. I don't know what he's talking about. Todd Carr. Yeah, I forgot Todd was a Canadian. But then again, so's AVE, and I love that channel. It's AVE is a blast. If you don't watch that channel, that's one you're missing out on. I had somebody in the comments, not picking. I don't want you guys to think I'm picking, or if they're here. So I had somebody in the comments of one of my videos is like, "Hey, Jared sent me over here. If you don't follow his channel, you probably should." And I'm like, I talk to him almost daily. There is not a girl standing in the corner of my background. There's a plant in the corner of my background. That's a plant. See? That's a plant. A potted plant. There is no girl standing in this corner here. No, there's not a girl. Unless you guys can see a much wider view of this than I can. There's nobody else. There's no one else in here. There's not. Now you got me looking. I'm like, there's only so many corners in that. And there's not a girl, and you better water it. Yeah, that's AVE definitely has some it's Paulina. He didn't, you know what? He didn't respond, and he didn't get all worked up. I'm trying to get him to come on. Hey, come on, man. Well, there's not, I mean, we talked about, I don't always talk about knives on these live feeds because it's weird. My ex looked like a plant, I guess. I don't know. There is a girl in the corner. Okay. I'm telling you, I'm looking at that picture. I'm the one that downloaded it. There is not a girl in that corner. That is a potted plant. See, there's a pot. And there's the plant. And then over in this corner, there's nothing. And then there are no other corners. So I don't know exactly what you're referring to. There's not a girl in the corner, K Mason. So did y'all hear they're giving away a, I don't even know what that is. Somebody tell me what that is. The girl is in your mind. Mr. G and VT. What's going on? Terry Williams in Vermont. I say that because Terry Williams was my 6th grade teacher. He's the only person I know who went by Mr. G. So we had that whole conversation. He goes, "No, that's me." And I'm like, "I don't believe you. I really don't believe you." Hang on a second. Let's see if this is still working here. So snow. I bet there is a lot of snow. McNeese. McNeese. That sounds like that's probably what they would call it if McDonald's made fried frog legs. They'd probably call them McNeese. Now let's look. Let's see here. McNeese custom knives. Pull up some images here. Let's see. Oh, those are. Well, here I don't want to be mean. I don't like them. I'm looking at them here. What? I don't. Manganus. Wait, I'm trying to look here. What's the name? What's the name of the knife that they're let me see. Trying to see which. What's the Jonathan? I don't see a Jonathan. But I do see McNeese knives. Once again, what's the name of the knife they're giving away? I'm just curious. Some of these aren't bad. The first couple I saw, I was like, that's not up my alley. But then again, I've seen a lot of knives. Like the first time I saw a Norseman, I'm like, I don't get it. I liked the videos. And then I was like, I'd like to see one. I mean, because they seem well built and everything. And like, I kind of want to see one. And then I got one in for sharpening. I was like, I fucking want one now. Dang, can't afford a McNeese. $479 or $497. Then you don't want to know what half of my knives cost, because I don't. I've only bought one knife that was in that price range that wasn't more expensive than that in a couple of years. There's only been one that I bought that was cheaper than $400, and that was the knife I didn't bring down with me, my little toy, the Exo gravity knife. So this was, once I paid shipping and tax and everything for purchase, I'm into this one for $1,100, I think. Yeah, with no, just at $1,000. You can, John. You just save. That's what I did. It took me 5 years to save up the money for this one. It took me 5 years to save up the $1,000 I needed for this. I actually had saved more than that. Jesus Christ, guys! I don't want to sound. I know it sounds shitty, but if you guys could, if you can't donate to the GoFundMe I have for my daughter skating, then please at least share it, because she needs new boots and skates, and that's what that GoFundMe is for little incidental things. So, like I said, if you can't donate, just please try to share it. I need to get some traction on that, because it would be nice to, we're in a situation now we weren't expecting. She hit a growth spurt. Like, she grew like an inch while she was in Japan. Now her skate boots don't fit, and the boots themselves are like $600. I mean, here's the thing. It's possibly the best built knife I've ever handled. And when you couple that with the fact that it's so well done, there's so many bells and whistles. And then once I discovered how much I like that recurve Tonto with the convex edge on the front, once I realized how much I like this and how functional it is, I'm like, yeah, I really want one. This is my most carried knife right now. This is in my pocket 7 days a week. if I don't have room in my pocket because I'm testing knives, because sometimes I'll be carrying 2 knives, I'll put it in my waistband so that I've got it. So it's really surprisingly functional. It's because you have that recurve. If you're wanting to cut down boxes, this is the champ. Tino saw it. We're at his house. His pew pew safe came in, and we cut down the entire big box that came in, and it was thick cardboard. He was like, "Oh, let me go get." He's like, "I'll go get a razor knife." He's like, "My knife's too thick." I was like, "I got this," and he was like, "Yeah, but," he's like, "How much better?" And I was like, "Just cutting it into little pieces." And he was like, "Good God, that thing cuts well." I'm like, "Yeah, it's just got." It was well thought out in how thick the blade is here, how it is here, and how well it cuts. And the fact that I'm not afraid to sharpen them says a lot. I just had somebody reach out to me and was like, "Hey, talk to John Grinsmo." I talked to John Grinsmo. He's the one, he recommended you for sharpening. Alex Steingraber asked for a bunch of my cards. So if you guys are ordering any of Alex's new knives, there's probably going to be cards coming with them for my sharpening. What did you, no, like I said, I just have the words that I know YouTube, because, okay. So what happens is if you guys use certain things, certain words in the comment section, YouTube will demonetize this video and I won't make any money on it. Well, the whole thing is, while this is fun and I love it and I love this interaction, the fact is, this is like right now the only income I got. So I just went ahead, and there's certain keywords that you just can't say. If you type them in, it automatically flags it and they just go in. Like heavy profanity, like you can drop some of them, like somebody was bullshit and stuff like that. I don't mind that, but like bad. And then there's some people that like to try and throw hate speech in, and I've got all of that blocked too. So that's probably what it was. If there's a way to reword it, Breeze. But yeah, this is definitely going to be the, well, no, that's not true. I have to shoot the full review of that Miguron Valona. If I don't shoot that, it's going to stay in my pocket for a very long time. I may just forget to put that in a box when I send it back to Jared and be like, "Oh man, I'm sorry. I missed that one. I'll get it out to you in the next box of stuff," because that's probably what I'm going to, yeah. Alex's stuff is, if you want a top tier fixed blade, you're looking at that. Alex is probably up there. Now he's started working on a folding knife that he's going to produce. Hang on, let me go grab that Miguron. So I need to get it out so that I make sure. That's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Is I'm going to film the video about this. This is the next video you guys are going to see a review on, and I like this one a lot. It would be hilarious if I went live with you, but not with Jared. That would be. Well, thank you, Breeze. Bro, you want to come on? If you can DM me, you could DM me your email address. Oh, no. You'd have to send it to me. Send me your email address, and I will send you a link. You can come on. And then you can just tell him, "Hey, I went live with Emler. I got like 45 minutes left if you want to come on, Breeze." And that's a Bastinelli design. So this is okay. So it's made by a company out of France, but okay, wait. So it's a collaboration with a company in France, made in Italy, and it's a Bastinelli design. So it's a collaboration, and it's a good little knife. I was afraid I wasn't going to like it, but that was because I have noticed that the knives coming out of Italy and France have a tendency to have, like I said earlier, a little bit of a blunt grind. And I was like, wow, this thing doesn't cut all that well. And then N690 CO, which is the N690 Cobalt, I definitely thinned that edge out a little bit, and it night and day. It cuts so well. I used it for some minor. I actually used it for some minor kitchen tasks. I'm trying to see if Breeze sent me his Oh, I have a guy in Peru that has contacted me. We talked on the phone. There's a guy in Peru that wants me to sharpen a couple of his Emersons of all things. But Breeze, it is Gun Monkey. I've just got my phone in my hand. Wouldn't work too well. But we could spin it somehow. Wednesday, I already have a guest. I mean, you can come on for a little bit if you want, but I already have a guest. I have Tri-State. You can come on. It'd be fun. Cole's fun when you get a couple people on. I really want to get a hold of John over at Grateful Panic. I haven't caught one of his lives in a while. I know he's been busy. Out here, the way things are with California, with these new rules they passed, you don't make any money. If you Uber and Lyft, if you do Uber Eats and stuff out here, you don't make any money. I quit. I had Lyft and I did it for a while right after I got, after I couldn't work, I would do Lyft. And then they passed those new rules and it made it so hard on the company. Like the companies have so many new things that they have to pay for that now you just don't get paid for shit. And so I was like, I wasn't making anything because by the time I would fill up, night of driving, when I couldn't sleep, I'd make 40, 50 bucks maybe. But then, you figure I spent a tank of gas, which at these prices is 70, 80 bucks. I'm like, wow, it's costing me money to drive Uber and Lyft. So I'm like, you know what? I just won't drive anywhere and I'll do this. Yeah, there's my email address. And guys, if you need to get a hold of me for sharpening, I will tell you that the best recommended thing to do is to call the phone number that is now in the description. There's a good chance I'm not going to answer it, but if you leave a message, I will get right back with you. I have that phone here. This is the business phone, and this is the personal phone. If that window. Oh, you wanted me to defenestrate myself. To defenestrate means to throw one out a window. It's my favorite word. It's my favorite word in the English dictionary. To defenestrate, the act of throwing someone out a window. That wasn't me then. That was YouTube. YouTube has things like you can't mention self-deletion. You can't mention self-deletion at all on YouTube. They don't like it. It's not great. I will tell you, these lights are incredibly bright. Here, so you guys can see what they look like. These are the new studio lights that I put up. There's one. Isn't that weird? And there's the other. And so, isn't that weird? The green screen is a weird thing. I mean, I can't. It's not actually there. It's just there's just a big green sheet of material hanging from a 10-foot by 10-foot frame. So you can do StreamYard on a phone. I've done it. I did the entire Knife Junkie podcast. I picked the wrong. Wow. Burnt Toast is here. Burnt Toast, how you been, man? I haven't seen you in a while. You can't even mention it. That's the weird thing. Like you can't even mention it. So I watched the quartering, and he's like, if you want to see why, like I follow his cues on how he skirts around topics, and you've heard me do it. Pews, self-delete, forever sleep, things like that get said because, to tell you the truth, YouTube takes down a lot of stuff. I don't even do it. They're not even turned up. See, watch this. We can, which one's, that's the remote for this one. And then this, they have individual remotes, and they're like the remote, the the actual things are color coded. Yeah, they're bright. They definitely brighten up the thing. And when I'm filming an actual video, now the problem I have is I know you guys have heard the echo in some of the videos. I can't do much about that. The reason being is this back wall behind me. So the green screen is here. The TV and my workbench are in front of me. I don't want to have to move the green screen every time I film. The problem is there's an echo because the sound bounces off the TV. So what someone recommended was take the TV and, like, if there's a way, just hang some towels up in front of it. Well, it's on a mount and there's an open space behind it. So I can toss a towel over the front of it. And then the other thing is I have to bring the camera closer to myself. And then I just have the rest of it. I have to try and mitigate in audio. I tried using my lapel mic and it just, I think it's worse. Oh, that sucks, but I'm glad you got to at least have a job. It's good. It's better than, like, there's a bunch of us that can't say that. Oh, the dog and a cat are both up on a love seat. The company that I was working for still has me on the books, but they're like, yeah, we don't know, like, we're not paying you. And I was like, yeah, I noticed. I don't get any benefits. But here's the thing. These are cool. One of them's blue. One of them's red. Literally a single sound panel would make a huge difference. Yeah, but, like, where am I going to put it? Wow, that is really bright. You guys see that? That's a significant difference. So an overhead mic. Here's the thing. You guys don't know this. I film on my phone. Those accessories don't exist for my iPhone. So no, not an overhead mic. There's just going to be an echo. I mean, it's still way better than it used to be. Like, for this, I could do an overhead mic, but for filming my videos, it's the T. So, like, I don't see, we can see the ginger radiant. I'm not a ginger. I'm a ginger. Big difference. So I'm Irish, Italian, and German. So it's, the Irish is like, that's what does it. But I have Italian in there, so that makes me like a day walker. You actually noticed you weren't getting paid. Successful YouTuber. I had YouTube. No, I don't make that much. I make enough that it makes it. I make enough that I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, I get a monthly paycheck, and it's about half what I was doing when I was making construction per month, maybe a little bit less. But it's still, like, I mean, it's what I can do. Like, the whole problem is with the COOF pandemic, I'm not allowed to work certain jobs, and most of the jobs that I would do, because there's some new rules about what you have to let your employers know with this whole COOF pandemic thing out here in California. So the whole thing is, like, I have to notify them that I have an autoimmune disorder, because that doesn't fall under the HIPAA, because it's a risk that the company would have to take, because even though I'm vaccinated and I'd be in these positions, it's just a risk that companies aren't going to take. So I may start working at a dispensary, because I don't think they care. But I was trying to avoid that, because then that's weird. But yeah, I mean, but the whole thing is, though, that's why I'm talking about the sharpening service. I'm ramping the sharpening service back up. The arm feels better. I sharpened a lot the last few days, and I didn't have any issues. So the sharpening service is back up and running, and I just did a repair on this and some other stuff. So that fills the gaps. And I have some customers, like, I know Jared does a lot of sharpening, but I have a lot of customers that have, like, super high-end knives, and I'm the person that they trust because I've established that, like guys like Jim Skelton, John Grimsmo, the Ferrum Forge boys, Mattia Barani, and Beg Knives, they recommend my service. Brian Nadeau at Sharp by Design, Alex Steingraber, those guys recommend my sharpening service. And so it's that's word of mouth that you just can't buy. That's advertising. Like guys like that people know make high-end cutlery, recommending your service. That's the thing. There was a while I sharpened pretty much every knife that Ferrum Forge put out. Like every knife that left their shop was when at one point I sharpened every one of them. So what is this? Back when I had to take audio recordings off the echo off the walls real bad, I just record on top of a thick carpet. I put the carpet down and it helped. There's some stuff that has helped. Well, like I said, you're talking about a directional mic. I film on my phone and I'm not buying a camera. I'm not going to tell you why. Like Jared bought the camera and he's going to find that he's going to have a lot of problems with it. I have a camera and I filmed on the camera and I had a mic for that camera. And it literally would take me 3 times as long to do a video. I can airdrop. I can film on this. I get as good results. The audio, I can play with the audio. It's not horrible. I've got some other stuff I'm going to do. I'm possibly going to put some egg crates around the TV and then put a towel up on top of it. Or something I can lean up against it while I'm filming. I just don't want something I don't want to have to move my workbench. I don't want to have to reorganize my workbench just to film. And so, the fact that I can airdrop from this right to my computer and then go straight into edit, it saves me so much time. So there's not really a lot of accessories that I can use with this to what? Sorry, I just got a text. There's not a lot of accessories I can use with this. I do have a wireless mic, but it's really tinny. And I think it's almost bad. I'm going to try it again and play with some of the settings. Jeez, the dog is just snoring. The dog and the cat were both on the love seat together. It's just a slow thing. I'm not going to get too wrapped up about it because a lot of times I can remove it in post and edit the audio and things like that. So as long as it's not horrible. And like I said, I figured out I have a little formula. I know where the tripod needs to be. I know where the green screen is going to be every time so that the garage door doesn't hit it and I'm not hitting the light and all that. And then how far in the tripod needs to be. So I'm not getting a lot of echo. I'm not getting a lot of echo from what's behind me. And then what I do get, I can take out with hum reduction and background noise and all that stuff. So it's not that big. And putting the towels on front of the TV helped a lot because that's just a big glass. That's a big piece of glass. The sound is, bouncing off. NAF Sergeant is here. How you been, buddy? What is this? You could mount the phone where the mic would go. And by the way, I think the audio is okay. We're on my computer right now. I'm using my webcam on my computer so that I can read this stuff. But when I do use my phone, there is an echo. And like I said, the videos I've done, who's Aston Halo? ? You could mount the phone. No, I don't think it's that bad. Once I got the formula figured out, like hum reduction, camera in the right place, not talking as loud. I forget that I don't live inside a 3-story gun anymore. Well, I mean, I work there, but I basically live there. And if I talk a little quieter, it's not over the top. It doesn't echo so bad. And then I don't talk as loud at the tabletop because I'm right on top of the microphone. And just, I think that, 10 out of 100 on the, Oh, nah, it's okay. I mean, like I said, a lot of it is just once I started doing stuff out here in the garage and I would close the garage door, it allowed it to echo a lot more. I don't have to use ambient light because, like I said, now I have lights. So I don't have to rely on the ambient light like I was before. So it should be fine. I think it's going to be fine. And I got a new recorder. I downloaded an app that's an actual video recording app, and it allows me to pick what speakers I'm using, front, back, and because there's like 4 speakers on an iPhone, and so you can pick and choose how you want to do it, and it works pretty good. So I think between those things, we're going to be fine. I don't think there's going to be too much echo. Like I said, just knowing 10 out of 100 on background noise reduction, hit the hum reducer, bring the scenes where I'm on camera, where I'm in front of the camera. I have to bring the volume up a little bit on that and then lower the volume. It's just a matter of playing with it. It's no different than teaching myself how to do this green screen stuff. It's so much simpler to be able to just airdrop the stuff, because the conversion from a camera to the MacBook takes forever to convert it over. Like literally the last time I did it, it took me like 2.5 hours to run to drop a, what do you want to call it? Like, I think it was like a 20-minute video. I think it took me like an hour and a half or 2 hours to get it onto the computer. And then I had to start editing it. So the fact that I can just airdrop it, and iMovie works really well. I haven't had any issues. The videos look good. The green screen works pretty well. It's just, it's just one of those things. I'll get it figured out. What is this? What am I doing here? I didn't know I could do this. Huh. There's a whole little piece of a menu I didn't realize was in this software. Make the setup too good, and you could rent your garage out when a family isn't home for professional art night filming. You talking about making them movies in the garage? Yeah, no, we're not doing that. When I photoed cars, lighting rate was just crazy. I never did get it right, but I didn't spend $100 grand either. So no sound in photos. So I feel your pain. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, these lights, 2 lights, separate remotes on tripods. And like I said, they came with a bunch of filters. Each came with a diffuser, a red, a blue, and a yellow light diffuser, or a light filter. I think they weren't even, I don't think they were in $60. I think if I remember right, they were like $44. So guys, you know what I wanted to talk to you. So we've been talking in these videos, and I've been showing knives that are available on Amazon and items that I've done affiliates for. And I have asked a bunch of you guys, why aren't you guys using the affiliate links? So if you see something in my video, there's a good chance there's an affiliate link for it down in the description. But even if there isn't, if you go to the Amazon and you click on it and you go to Amazon, it doesn't matter that I didn't have the affiliate thing. And once you're in through my affiliate link, I still get credit for anything you purchase. So if you're doing some shopping on Amazon, I'd really appreciate it if you use the affiliate links. It doesn't cost you anything. It costs Amazon something, and everybody should stick it to Amazon as much as they can. I say that, but that's where I got these lights. So these things are cool though. Like the fact that they have individual, like if say like there was more light on that side and I wanted this brighter and this side lower, it's kind of cool. One of them has red, one of them has blue. See what I'm saying? It's kind of cool. Doesn't work on Canada. Well, that's because you're Government's a bunch of, yeah. Crowder Shop, crowdershop.com. It's got a lot of cool mugs on there. Even if you don't like Steven Crowder, his mug shop, he's got some cool mugs, some really cool ones. Yeah, I didn't even think about the whole Canadian thing. But I had some people that were commenting. I was like, oh man, that sea snake's cool. I should go get one. And I was like, there's an affiliate link right down below. I was like, oh, I already bought it. I'm like, did you use the affiliate link? And they're like, no. I'm like, that's why I put the affiliate link down below. Even my buddy Tino, he's like, oh, I bought all this stuff. I bought all this stuff on Olate and I bought all this stuff on Amazon. I was like, did you use my affiliates? And he goes, yeah, no, I didn't. So, but I'm serious. This is the big one. I want to get, if you already purchased some of my merchandise, if you bought some shirts, send me pictures of you in the Crazy Sharp shirts and I'll put them up in videos. Okay. I didn't say a word about a hinderer. Did anybody, are you guys, one of you guys flipping a hinderer at your house? You've summoned Brant. I have a hinderer here. Brant's here. What's going on, Brant? Did you get any new hinderers? I can't say much. I have a ton of Ferrum Forge knives here, but they're more there is a lot more dimensions to Ferrum Forge than there are hinderer, to tell you the truth. I mean, basically you have a couple. No, I definitely didn't say anything about hinderer. Ethan, it's Ethan. Ethan's flipping a hinderer. I have a hinderer here. I have Aiden's hinderer here, and I have to sharpen it. And I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to get to it. Some of this stuff had been here, but the flip side of that is some of this stuff. If you're military and you send me stuff, your stuff always gets head of the line. So I had done some sharpening and I was getting ready to do Aiden stuff, and active duty Jarhead was like, hey man, I got some straight razors and I got some knives. I'm going to send them to you. And I'm like, all right. And then they get here and they have to go to the front of the line. I do that. I do that for anyone that's active duty military. When might the auto be rolling out? What auto? I don't know what auto you're talking about. What are we talking about? Got a new lefty XM18. Okay. I like the Hinderer knives. They are cool, but they are too thick. They are way too thick. Way too thick. There's no reason for them to be that. Here, case in point. This is 80s. And I gotta unfuck this. I had a guy that sent me several Resentes at the same time. John's here. What's on, John? There is no reason for that knife to be that thick behind the edge. There's no reason for any knife. I mean, are you cutting concrete? Are you going to go chop a tree down in the forest? Naden, I got to talk to you. We got to talk about this, because this is going to be a thing of work. This is going to be some work. So I'll get with you, because there's going to have to be it's not going to be the standard $20 for paying. So guys, if you're a paying member, you save $5 on my sharpening service. So Aiden, yeah, we're gonna have to talk about this, because I have no idea what this is gonna be like. We'll just have to. Oh my God, you did a pretty good job convexing it. You did a pretty good job convexing it. It's just, it's not. No, I'm not. I've only got like 10 minutes left. I'm not pulling anybody up. I was trying to get Polly on. I'm not going to bring anybody up. Sorry, Brant. Maybe Wednesday, because I'm getting ready to start wrapping this up. And when I have somebody on, then it just goes, it just takes forever. So I'm wanting to end this in a timely fashion because I want to go FaceTime with my daughter and see if they have resolved anything with the cancellation of her flight back from Japan. Let's get you to San Francisco. And then there's a flight from there, right? They're like, because I heard him and I was like, sort of connection flight to San Diego ni ikono. I was like, is there a flight from San Francisco to San Diego? Like, oh, nine. I was like, それ運転は10時間ぐらいよ. I was like, just driving there is 10 hours. And he's like, oh, so ne. I was like, yeah. Like, I'm not driving 10 hours to pick my wife and kid up at the airport to turn around and drive another 10 hours. That's a lot of hours. I'm not real good at math, but that's twice what 10 is. Hey, D-Legal. So I have to admit, I don't mind knives that are on the thicker side, but that is redonkulous. There's no reason for a knife to be that thick. That might be my daughter right now. Oh, nothing. Okay, so Polly just texted me. Hang on, let me take care of this. Well, I was trying to get you to come on, but I've only got a few minutes left, so we can do it some other time. So, well, thanks, John. I've just been stockpiling some backgrounds. I've made a couple backgrounds that I thought were fun. Like I said, the one for New Year's. And I'm going to recycle it. I'm just going to do a live feed and stuff like that. They're 3 bears in after a workout. Oh, 3 beers in after a workout, post-workout meal, maybe action movie. I can tell already I'm just not going to be able to sleep tonight. I'm probably going to film the Migron Knives Valona. Did I put it over here? I'm probably going to film this video tonight and then play video games, and then I will edit it tomorrow. I think that, well, and then I was like, so I asked the guy, I asked him, are you going to pay us back? You know, it's not our fault you canceled the flight. Like, you're going to pay us some extra because my wife wanted the convenience of flying to Japan. I don't want to or flying to San Diego. I can just pick her up at the airport. It's literally 20 minutes. Los Angeles, LAX, 2 hours easy, if not longer. And traffic is horrible up there. So if I have to go pick her up at LAX, still that's 4 to 6 hours of my life right there. I'm like, so you're going to reimburse us some of the money. Those tickets were real fucking expensive. And he's like, oh, no. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I was like, you don't get to like change our entire life for that day. And especially if I have to drive to San Francisco. If you guys have ever been to San Francisco airport, it's horrible. First of all, driving to San Francisco is a nightmare. Second of all, have you seen pictures of San Diego or San Francisco? It's a shithole. And then I have to drive back from San Francisco. Last time I even went up there, I went to Petaluma. Me and Nico drove. It's 8.5, 9 hours to Petaluma. We drove up there and went to Petaluma to visit Mark Begg and Mattia Barani at Mattia Barani Cutlery and Begg Knives. We went up there because I'm friends with them, and it was the beginning of the lockdowns. And I was like, we don't have anything else going on. Neither one of us can work. Let's go up and visit them. And so we did, and I filmed, and that's right when the Sea Snake design released. And it took us a good 8-9 hours to get up there. We left early in the morning and got there in the afternoon. So I got to get them on. I got to get them on here. Guys, this DC53 steel. So before you even see I've sharpened this a couple different ways. I did it once on diamond at 2000, and it was terrifyingly aggressive. I did it on aluminum oxide to 2000, and it was nuts how well. And then I took it to 12,000, and I was like, ooh, okay, that's good. And then this is at 8,000 on a brand new. I went ahead because yeah, I know, Breeze, I know. But so I ordered a new Sharpening 8,000 grit. Remember I was telling you guys about that 8,000 grit that I bought that's on the base and it cracked? I can't use that on straight razors anymore. That little crack, when you go over that with a straight razor, you can feel it click and it breaks your edge off because the edge on a straight razor is so thin. So I got a new 8,000 grit Sharpening stone and I prepped it and everything. And I was like, well, let's see what that DC50, that's about perfect. That is just about a perfect, let's see if you can see how mirror polished it is. That is just about perfect. And just at the slightest touch, I've cut myself twice with it now playing. You can see I got myself right there and I got myself on my middle finger. It just will bite the shit out of you. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this DC53 steel. And like I said, there's a chance that this just might not make it in the box. It goes back to Jared and might stay with me for an extra couple weeks. And I'm like, oh, hey man, sorry about that. Because the thing about it, like I said in the first day in pockets, this does not feel as big as it actually is. It's light, it's nimble. And for a 9-inch knife, it doesn't carry or feel like it in hand. It's as comfortable to carry and use as this knife. So, okay, Mason, they didn't tell us. Like they just canceled. There's been a bunch of flights that got canceled. So her flight was supposed to be on the 29th. They may wind up staying for a few extra days, which that's not a big deal. It's not like I'm paying for a hotel. She's staying at her parents' house there in Japan. It's not that big a deal. The illegal crazy sharp. I've been doing some homework and I've been thinking about getting into the CNC scale game. You've been around knives for a while. Have your opinion on it? You have a hard time competing. I'm going to tell you right now because Cerberus Knives. Cerberus Knives is going to beat you. He's going to stomp a mud hole in your ass. I would find a different, not telling you that you shouldn't, like, I'm not saying you can't make scales. You might do a good job of it. The fact is the numbers that he can generate and how good his stuff is. And the fact is that he takes the time to figure the plus minus on knives. Like he gets a bunch of knives, like when he did ones for the paramilitaries and things like that. A lot of times when you buy aftermarket scales for Spyderco's, depending on which one you got, what factory it was made in, what steel it was in, the holes don't line up 100%. And then you have a real hard time. I never had a Flytanium fit any knife great. He takes the time to figure the over under so that they fit everything. You're looking at a lot of investment. And what he didn't have to do is he has friends that have a machine shop guys that he went to high school with, and they basically rolled right into that. He does entire runs for knife art and shit like that. Like he could, I think he's going to make like $100,000 worth of sales this year just in scales. So not at all trying to dissuade you from becoming an entrepreneurial business type thing. I'm just saying, I don't think that anyone out there really is going to be able to compete with him. It's just one of those things. Like there's just some companies that are just going to be able to beat you. Now, I guarantee if you do some cool stuff, if you come up with some laser sharpening or some laser engraving and some unique materials, you could probably do some, but like you're going to have a hard time. But what you got to do is you've got to make a quality scale. Nothing irritates me more than an aftermarket part. And then you send it to me and it just doesn't fucking fit. I can't tell you how many times when I was working out at Chris and Elliot's shop there at Fair and Forge, the guys were like, "Hey man, I bought these scales. Can you try and make them fit?" And then me and Elliot would mess with them. And Elliot's like, "You know what? He's not paying you enough to do this." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "How much are you paying him to put these scales on?" I'm like, he's like, he's only paying you to sharpen the knife. I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "You're getting fucked." He's like, "You and I both have worked on this for like an hour. Most aftermarket scales and aftermarket parts just don't fit." And that's what Cerberus knives has going for them. So if you're gonna do it, make sure you do it right. Make sure that they fit. Make sure they're the right size. Make sure that they match from side to side. I had a guy send me a set of scales that somebody had made. They were literally 2 fucking different colors from side to side, from clip side to front. I'm like, these aren't even the same color. It was like 2 different batches on my Carter that were different colors. I was like, yeah, no. So yeah, you can, I mean, I guarantee you could do it, but like there's a couple companies that have it locked down pretty well right now. But I mean, if you want to do it, that Aiden is the Migaron Valona, and I do not believe it's available right now. I'm going to shoot the video. Like I said, I'm probably going to shoot the video when we get done here, about 5 minutes or so. So it's pretty good. And it's not just the steel. It's the DC-53 steel is great, but the knife itself is just great. It's not so super different than D2. It's just a little harder, and its edge is just a little crisper. Like D2 is great. If you got good D2, some companies D2 is great. Artisan Cutlery's D2 is fucking stellar, but it also D2 rusts a lot worse. And D2, their D2 is really, really good. Artisan's is, but I don't think I've had D2 take a crisp edge. Like it's the edge this takes is real similar to the edge you would get on 14C 28N. But I've carried this so much and done so many things with it. It's kind of thick, but the angle that Jared cut this back at is pretty good. It's it cuts way better now that he dropped the angle way back on this. Yeah, that's another thing I was going to tell you. Know what you're getting into. I've not going to lie to you. I actually had someone get in touch with me, and they were really, really upset. And because I've taken so much of their sharpening business, it was a local sharpening service, and he used a machine, and no one was happy with it. He was burning edges. And I told him, I was like, what's because he's using a machine? And he got really upset. And he was like, "You're telling people I'm doing this?" I was like, "But you are doing this." And he goes, "No, you don't know what you're talking about." I was like, I know what a burnt edge looks like. And a guy brought a knife that you literally had just sharpened, and I had to fix it. And when it came in, the edge was straw colored. I was like, that's a burnt edge. You're using a belt grinder, and you're running it too hot, and you're running it too high, and you're not using any coolant, and you're burning up these edges. And that's why his knife was dull again. He's like, he literally cut like one box, and he goes, "Yeah, it didn't stay sharp." And then he told me who had done it. Well, this guy got pissed and was like, and I was like, here's the thing. You can't get upset. It's true. Like, if you want to say that I take too long to sharpen a knife, I can't get upset. Like, "Oh, you could send it to Mike, but it's going to take him like a week to get it done. I could do it right now." I'm like, well, that's not a fucking lie. It's probably going to take me about a week to get it done, if not longer, depending on how much shit I've got on the shelf to sharpen. But I can't get upset. It's not a lie. It's going to take me about a week to get it done, if not longer. So, and there are some, no, it's because there are some steels like, what was the one? 3V, 3 and 4V. It's it's just the fact, like, I don't know what it is that's in my sweat. I do the same thing with like sunglasses. You can see where my sweat just eats the finish off of glasses frames and stuff. Like it's like there's acid in it. And every time I carry a D2 knife, that's why I coat all the D2 knives that I like. I coat. Then my D2 knives get used a lot, actually. So, but that's not what it is. It's just I've got very acidic sweat, I guess. So I did not dislike it. This, I am going to tell you right now that while it took me about, like I said, 30, maybe 40 minutes to remove the chip and put the new tip on it. And then about another 15, maybe 20 minutes to run it through the grit. But the edge it took is nasty. Like, it's another one that is, it's just, it'll want to just cut, it wants to cut the DNA right out of your hand. I don't dislike 10V. I haven't been drinking beer. I had some beer that was given to me by a customer that wanted me to do something that I really didn't want to do. And he brought me a 6-pack and I drank it, but he absolutely wanted me to do something I didn't want to do. And then I did it and it came out great, but I knew it was going to be a pain. So that's why I'm asking opinions. I know there's a lot of R&D in it. Everyone starts somewhere. Carbonized isn't taking any more for a while. And the carbonized takes a while too. Taking it on as a hobby for now and keeping busy. Yeah. I mean, there's no reason you can't. I mean, figure it out. Just if you're just doing it as a hobby, see what happens. So quality and have it last longer, short time, and no, this guy gave me a 6-pack of Modelo to sharpen a knife for him that I knew was going to take forever, and I did it, and it came out okay. It came out great, actually. But Winston Cabretti, if you're still here, this is an interesting little. I was trying to like compare it, and now I'm like basically it's I like it. I like it a lot. You better say goodnight to that chick in a corner before you call it a night. You mean the potted plant over here? What I want to try and find a background. I can find a background. I know which one I want. It's a video background. Problem is I can't load it to the software, but what it is you can watch, like, it transitions. And if I start it, it would transition through, it'd transition through from daytime to nighttime, and it would be kind of cool. Pocket Sayax. It's unusual how it's shaped and everything, but once you get a hold of it and you get a good grip on it, I'm like, yeah, that's a Bassinelli. That'll fuck some shit up. What are the characteristics of 10V? I will tell you, it is very wear resistant. I started on this knife and I'm like, yeah, let me use my 100 grit. I'll use my 100 grit aluminum oxide. And I'm like, this is going to take forever. So I grabbed my 80 grit diamond and realized that was taking a while. And so I grabbed my 50 grit. Silica carbide and then worked my way up through the grits. So 10V is really wear resistant. But it also takes a really aggressive, I think it's got some pretty large carbides in it. It's really the first I've done much with it. And I'm pretty impressed with the edge it took. So reprofiling it was a pain. Getting that chip out, getting the tip repair done was a pain. But once I got it and ran it through the grit up to 2000 grit, it went nice and smooth. So it sharpens well. It just does not like to have, it fights you when you try to remove a lot of material. But once I got the edge on it, it was pretty good. It's not here for review. It was only here for sharpening and repair. So I would have to ask and I would have to look it up. Like, I'd have to ask some people, but it's it's pretty good. And it's on a Spyderco I like. I like the Para 2. I know I say I don't like Spyderco knives, but I do like the Para 2. It's a really good knife. If I was going to buy a Spyderco, it would be either the paramilitary or the Para 2. I don't like the Para 3. I don't like the Para 3 because the Para 3 it's got that weird blade to handle ratio that I don't like. It's got more handle and then the blade's kind of stubby. I like the Para 2. It's good shape. I like the compression lock. And that's not a bad steel. And this is ground really well. The blade grind, the edge grind on them are typically horrible. But yeah, I mean, it's just all around. If I was going to buy a Spyderco, it'd be a Para 2. And now having sharpened 10V, it would probably be a Para 2 in 10V. That's what I was saying. If I would get one, it's gonna be this. It's gonna be the 10V. I don't like S30V. I don't like Spyderco's 20CV. It was Benchmade. I didn't like their 20. Did I like Benchmade's 20CV? I don't like a lot of the steels at Spyderco's. They do a really good job with their VG10. But if I was going to get it, it would probably be this because now I know what kind of edge and everything it takes. And I think that would just be, I think that'd be pretty good. I like the compression lock. The pocket clip's not bad. It gives you some options. I would probably look at this configuration right here if I was going to get one. Another option was S90V, like my Benchmade. If I had those options, I will tell you that I cleaned this up while I was sharpening, but it does have water spots on it. So I don't think it's super corrosion resistant because I did notice some spotting, things like that. I haven't seen 15V. Like I said, I had my Benchmade 940 out yesterday and carried it all day. That S90V holds an edge forever, like really, really holds an edge forever. So do you want to see before and after? I can pull those pictures back up here. Hang on. We'll pull these pictures up. I will show you. I'll just pull the pictures up. Hang on a second. We'll do it again. So Ron, since you hadn't got to see it, share a screen. So this is what it looked like before. So it had a chip. So I had a chip in it. Yeah. So you can see it had a chip in it and it had share screen and it had the tip was busted on it. Nope, that's what it looked like after. Sorry about that. That's what it looked like before. So there's the tip that was missing. And so then share screen. So then I got it all fixed up. So there's where the chip was. And then, yeah, I think that's also, I think he's and then I'll show you what the tip looked like. Share the screen after I finished it. So this was the final on the tip. So you can see my hands are filthy, but I got all that done. I did all of that freehand on stones. I did it all freehand on stones because I don't like, there's a lot of guys like, oh, you could use I only use I don't do that. I use the grinder. I'm like, you shouldn't be using a grinder. Like using a grinder, like even if you don't change the color to steel, if it's not getting a straw, you can still burn that edge at the very apex. And then like, oh, I did it on a grinder. I can't figure out why. I can't figure out why it won't hold an edge. And I was like, because you did it on a grinder. That's why. And then My favorite is when people find out that I use, yeah, it does have a slight convex. The other knife I did for him has a very pronounced convex. This has a pronounced convex. I don't know if you can see it. This has a pronounced convex on it all the way to the edge. And so it has that acute edge at the very front, and then it allows that transition from that thicker steel. So I like putting a convex on pretty much everything. I even put a convex. This even has a convex down inside on the, can you see it? There's a convex down in here. So I find that the convex, just making sure no one was stealing my car. I find that a convex allows you to have a very thin, acute edge, but more material behind it, and they hold better. And the fact is, just like a samurai sword with that apple seed, the grind, where it's basically a full convex, it pushes material out of the way. It just cuts better. And the fact, like I said, has more material behind that thin edge at the very apex. It holds better because there's more material behind it to support the edge. I've been a big proponent of the convex edge ever since I started doing them and realized they're aggressively sharp and they stay sharp longer. Now, there's some people like, no, V grind. I find that I don't like a V grind. And the fact is, to do a convex, it's really hard to do it on a fixtured system where you're locked in on one angle. So yeah, I like convex edges. I think they cut better. I think that they hold long. I think they're great. I think they're great edges. This is a problem where I live, stealing cars. It's a problem everywhere. It's a problem everywhere. What is this? Yeah, this thing cuts nuts. I was fucking around with it on I have a broomstick, the head of the, what is this? I put together a custom bug out through Benchmade, blacked out, all black hardware, 20 CV, looks $6 Yeah. You can send it to me. I can address that for you. Yeah, great at chopping. Yeah. How would you do? You can't. That's what I'm saying. Like, the only thing that you can do that get close is a compound edge, which is what technically everybody's like, oh, Chris Reeves knives have a convex. No, they have a compound edge. There's two separate edges. There's a forward bevel and a back bevel. So and then they just you can't kind of see it until you get ready to start sharpening it. So it does not have a true convex. Mine does now, because like when I sharpen, I change that angle all the way from apex back several times through the process, and through each pass is at a different angle. And so what happens is you finally get to the end and you've overlapped those multiple angles, because they're never the same twice. You've overlapped them so many times that like it just becomes one consistent thing. And if there are any lines when you do that final strop, you can just strop those shoulders off. No one's even seeing. They all married and blended together. You can get some convex stones. I know you can, but they just don't quite get it, Todd. They just don't quite get it. And Aiden is right. You are right. They are much more prone to chipping. One of the fixed angle systems have some sort of attachment trying to get convex. Yeah, I know. But like I said, I don't like fixtured systems. I think that learning to do it by hand is probably the best way, because the fact is, if I'm out in the woods, I can pick up a rock. If I find a nice flat rock, I can pick up a rock and do a very primitive edge on my knife, because I know how to do it. If you don't know how to sharpen a knife and you go out in the woods, you're not going to take your fixtured system with you. And you go out in the woods, your knife gets dull, and you're like, oh, fuck, what am I going to do now? Well, I'm going to go find a sandstone, and I'm going to find a harder stone, and I'm going to fucking sand it down, and I'm going to flatten that and give myself a nice surface, and I'm going to sharpen it on a sandstone. It's exactly what I'm gonna do. I guess I don't know. Guess I don't know about that. Most folks in these parts leave the keys in the car. Sometimes they'll just leave it running. I don't worry about it here. Not in this neighborhood. It was a joke. My old neighborhood. Yeah, absolutely. There was no way I would leave my car outside overnight. We have never parked the car in the garage here. This is we live in a really nice neighborhood here. Even though we're a good bit closer to the border than we were, the crime is so much lower here. It's a nice neighborhood. So yeah, that's the other thing. Like I was open carrying all over the house and in the garage and the yard, with the door open and out in the yard, and very clearly showing everyone that I was open carrying, because I just wanted I wanted the entire neighborhood to know that, like, this ain't the house. This ain't the house. Like, that door is locked. That door you're about to kick in is locked for your protection, not mine. I think Aiden or Todd, somebody asked me how my hand's feeling after the piercing. It's, I'm not gonna lie, there's still a tender spot right here where it came out. There's a bit of a hard spot in there. I'm probably gonna wind up opening that back up and see if there's, like, it feels like there's like a little nodule of something. And I'm probably just gonna pop that back open and see, because it's kind of tender. But it seems to be healing up pretty good. I have not seen 2A Dave in a while, Garrett. I don't know where 2A Dave is. So, guys, it's been 2 hours and 11 minutes. This has been real fun. We talked about a bunch of stuff, and it's always fun to have you guys here. Like I said, I love to do these live feeds because I do this for me, because I enjoy the interaction with you guys. I really like it when I have somebody like Cole or Jared or Polly, especially Polly. Like, Polly's one of my best friends in the world. So it's a lot of fun to do these. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close my, there we go. Get out of here. So I guess I'm going to tear that down in just a minute. So guys, I love you all. Take it easy. This is, like I said, I do these for me. And the fact that you guys hang out with me, there's like 25 of you hanging out with me for 2 hours for something I'm just doing because it's fun, I appreciate. But now I'm going to tear this all down. Actually, no, I'm going to film a little bit, and then I'm going to tear it down and watch TV. Yeah, I was a little bit worried about that, but I'm not too concerned. I don't think it's a cyst. I think it might just be a little keloid. So it's just a little tender, but it's getting better. And worst case scenario, there's a place where I can go and they'll just do ultrasound on it, break up the scar tissue. So guys, I love y'all. Take it easy. If you didn't watch today's video, it's already up. Tomorrow's video is going to be about that that D2 Gorilla neck knife that one of you guys sent me. And if you are the one that sent it to me, please let me know so I can give you credit for it, because I went through the video and could not figure out who sent it to me. So I'm out. I love you guys. Thanks for all the donations and stuff. Go check out my daughter's GoFundMe. It's in the description of my videos. And like I said, if you can't donate, share it. Just like my videos. If you can't donate, can't do super chat, just share the videos with people. It's important. All right, guys, I'm out. Love you all. Later.